Good afternoon. Welcome to the media briefing about the NC Tech IT Job Trends Dashboard and the transition to this new format for 2024. We have a couple of people still logging in, so we'll give them just a second to make sure that their audio is working okay, and we will get started. All right, good afternoon. Welcome to NC Tech's media briefing for the transition to a new IT job trends dashboard for 2024. We're happy that you could join us this afternoon to kind of get a sneak peek about the dashboard and what it's going to offer new for 2024, and answer a few questions you may have about the new format. So to kick us off this afternoon, I'm going to introduce Brooks Rayford. He's our president and CEO of NC Tech.
Thanks, Andrea. Hello, everybody. We're excited about this new partnership and platform that will enhance our long-time offering of IT job trend data in North Carolina and some national data as well. Our briefing today will have several segments. I'll share a brief history of what NC Tech has offered until this point. Andrea will then share about our transition to this new platform and what will be available to the press and the public. And she'll be joined by Eric Larson with eImpact and Josh Wright with Lightcast, which are our new partners that provide this platform. So first, a bit of history. For most of our 31 years of existence, we have produced and shared with the public a monthly IT job trends report in some form or fashion. It's basically a snapshot in its format. It highlights the ups and downs in IT job openings month over month and year over year. The snapshots also have historically included or highlighted some top 10 lists of sorts. For example, top 10 tech employers in the previous month, top 10 job titles or skills or certifications in demand, things like that. And we've also featured some geographic lists. There are 15 metropolitan statistical areas or MSAs in North Carolina. And so we've often featured that list with how the job openings are going in those regions month to month as well. Moving into 2024, our team wanted to provide a combination of these monthly snapshots, but also offer a dashboard of sorts, including some real-time information, ability to extract and sort of play with data a bit, a little more custom. And so for that intro and the presentation we'll hear, I'll turn it back over to Andrea, who will share with you about this transition and what and when it will be available to all of you to view. Andrea?
All right. We eImpact, I've had lots of emails from them over my time at NC Tech, and we got together in the fall. They do dashboards for several other tech associations and economic development groups across the country. We really talked about the current IT job trends report and the opportunities for really doing a deeper presentation of the data, reduction of human error, and really the focus on keeping the data as up to date as possible. So several of those were reasons for change. The richer format for data is one of the big changes. The new dashboard will have an expanded 5-year trend for both the US and North Carolina for job postings. And if we've all seen in the past year, that will be really helpful to have that bigger picture trend over the 5-year period. We also expanded the list of top hiring companies to 20 companies, added a graphic representation of the percentage changes year over year. And then we've added a couple of new data points. And I think these are really going to be helpful looking into where some of the talent trends are going, as well as planning for future talent pipeline and kind of some projections of what to expect. So the two new data points are the job postings by experience level. So a great pie chart we'll share in a little bit about entry level, junior, senior, mid-level, and then experienced positions and their postings. And then one of my favorites, I think, will be the annual wage rates by tech occupations, and some really good data there that I think will be really helpful for our members and for media. We also have added the ability to download data. I may be getting into Eric's part of the presentation, but the ability to download the data and look at it and manipulate it as you need to for different reports or different articles and also downloading the individual charts. So those are a lot of the reasons for the changes. We're really excited to be able to provide this deeper information and to share a little bit about both the dashboard developer and the data behind the dashboard. I'd like to introduce Eric Larson. He is with eImpact, and Josh Wright with Lightcast. So Eric, I believe you're going to talk first.
Yeah, nice to meet you, everybody. And I am going to pass to Josh here in a second. So we've just got a couple orientation kind of slides about both the data source side with Lightcast and then the visualization side with eImpact. And then we can, walk through the dashboard itself and talk about the different features Andrea mentioned.
Great. Eric, you want me to take it over?
Yeah, as you're ready.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us. Excited to talk just for a couple minutes about Lightcast and our partnership with eImpact. So just a little bit about Lightcast. Lightcast is a global leader in workforce analytics. We specialize in everything jobs and talent-oriented data. We work with several thousand organizations across the globe, including large Fortune 500 companies, several hundred economic development organizations, about 1,000 colleges and universities, and many different tech associations and trade associations across the US and Canada and other parts of the world as well. We offer data specific to local, national, and international data on labor market trends, economic indicators, and different community data as well. And we are really focused on unlocking new possibilities in the labor market with this type of data. Understanding these trends helps organizations and individuals make better decisions and connect to better jobs and ultimately drive economic mobility and opportunity across the US and the globe. So that's a little bit about Lightcast. Just 3 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago from tomorrow, we announced we've been partners with eImpact for the last several years. They've been integrating our data into their dashboards. And just 3 weeks ago, we announced publicly that Lightcast has acquired eImpact, and now we are officially all under the same roof. Very, very excited about this acquisition. Eric is CEO and co-founder of eImpact, done a great job growing that business, and we're really excited to have that capability as part of Lightcast. So just for a really quick orientation, these are the types of solutions that Lightcast provides and where eImpact fits in that. Most of our clients, most of our Lightcast clients are either researchers, analysts, or executives who want to make good decisions with data. And so a lot of our data is very research focused, and that's where that first solution, what we call developer, comes in. It's behind the scenes, a software tool where people can pull back data, charts, tables all to their heart's content. We also connect job seekers to work. We have a couple products there that are oriented to getting people using that data and putting it into a public orientation for people to understand where they can take their career. And we have a consulting professional services unit that helps either communities or organizations develop their talent strategy. And over the last few years, we've seen this growing need for data visualization, for taking the data that folks use behind the scenes and visualizing it in a public, accessible way. And that's where eImpact comes in. And that's why we're so excited to have them part of Lightcast. We also have a tool called Gazelle that helps organizations and communities identify growing companies to target for their regions. And so really a well-rounded portfolio of offerings to help communities, educational institutions, and companies make good decisions with data. So that's just a quick entree into what Lightcast is and where eImpact fits, and I'll hand it over to Eric from there.
Thanks, Josh. Couple words about what is eImpact. So we are a data visualization solution that is focused on helping organizations communicate workforce and labor market data, economic data, community indicators, and we integrate these dashboards together across a range of sources. As Josh mentioned, for years, Lightcast has been our key source on many of these pillars, but we also combine different data because, every story requires different inputs. really the whole objective with this is to make data more accessible. Oftentimes we do help, just like with NC Tech, transition what was formerly, a report and turn it into a dynamic dashboard. Makes it a little more dynamic, makes it a little more real time, like Brooks mentioned. But it also helps our clients answer questions, spotlight strengths of their market or their industry, and really engage the audience, especially folks who might not be real comfortable consuming data in a report or spreadsheet format. So making it into visualizations. Our goal is to reach a wide-ranging audience at the end of the day. So lastly, when clients like NC Tech work with eImpact, they're really partnering with us to develop the end product. It's not just a software license. So our team helps with that, and we get it to the point where it's ready to be shared in a clear and compelling way, which we're excited to do here today. What's a startup without a little story? So where did we come from? Our original mission was to make data accessible to all folks, at least as an aspiration. There's a data literacy gap in the population, and we saw data visualization as an underutilized path to help with that. Not just for us data wonks, but really, could we make this something that the general public can utilize to understand what's going on? Our first use case was actually economic impact studies, which are, very oftentimes dry reports, good information, but they tend to go on the shelf and not get updated. So we started with that, helping trade associations and specifically tech associations at first. And then, as mentioned, expanded into economic and workforce development, where, the need was even greater in a lot of cases, which helped us scale across the US. As part of Lightcast, we're obviously very excited for this outcome and being able to grow across the globe. Definitely a dream of startups and people in my shoes specifically. And it's been a wonderful experience. So we're looking forward to this next phase. We've got the dashboard ready to go here, but I'm just going to pass back to you, Andrea, and then we'll take it from there.
Well, thank you both for kind of the update and overview of Lightcast and eImpact, and congratulations to you both. Congratulations, Eric, for the acquisition, and congratulations to Lightcast for adding this as a new resource for your customers. The data visualization is so much better to be able to just glance at something very easily and get a feel for what's going on for trends. So we did promise a sneak peek of the dashboard. So Eric, if you don't mind sharing that. And while he's pulling that up, if you do have questions, you can either use the Q&A box, or as soon as we kind of go through the sneak peek of the dashboard, we can take any questions from attendees, and then we'll wrap up. So Eric, do you want to just kind of scroll through and kind of give some highlights?
Yeah, love to. So this is the dashboard. It's hosted in browser here that'll embed into the NC Tech website, available in a lot of different ways. And we followed really the outline of the report quite closely. And as Andrea mentioned, did add some data sets as we did that, which hopefully add some additional value for folks. We've got the side-by-side of North Carolina trends in IT postings. Again, that's across the range of IT occupations that Council is focused on, comparing the state versus the United States. So as you see, from December 2022 to December 2023, we're down 59% and 50% respectively between the state of North Carolina and the United States. That is not unusual, and even across the whole labor market, there's been a major correction in just the overall volume of postings, and there's various reasons for that we could discuss as you'd like today. So there's different visualization types, as you see here, and the chart is interactive, but also, as Andrea mentioned, you can download the data. So just click that get the data link, or get the image if you want to put this into whatever it may be, an article, a report, slide deck. So lots of ways to pull data out. Once again, drawing some differences between a dashboard and a report. We're hoping this, makes it more accessible, more usable for the audience out there. So we've got MSA comparisons here, as Brooks talked about, in terms of total postings, as well as the 13-month percent change, top job titles, top 20 companies, hard skills in demand. Always interesting to see this as it changes, as we trend towards more AI focus in a lot of the tech space and so forth. It's just always very dynamic, obviously, in this space. And then here's the chart Andrea mentioned in terms of IT job postings by experience level, and kind of a slice breakdown in what we call a donut chart. So you can see, junior 3 to 5 years experience, what portion they represent, entry level, and so forth. And annual wages as well. So this would be, it's a range chart. So with any occupation, any row here, you can see the 25th percentile compensation all the way up to 75th. Another way to voice over that would be, entry level or junior practitioner versus more senior experienced person. And it's very helpful for employers as well, because they're just trying to look at what's talent cost in this market at both ends of the spectrum.
Josh, we do have one question. Do you mind just kind of unmute and allow her to ask her question? Is that all right?
Absolutely.
Hey, Sarah. I saw your hand raised. Did you want to type in your question, or would you like to ask it?
There it goes. Sorry, I was having trouble pressing that button. Thank you so much,
That's
y'all,
okay.
for hosting this, and it's exciting to see the dashboard. And I just got a ping and wanted to know what the timeline was for folks having access to this data and using this data for articles.
So I can address that one. Our first report will be February 12th, and that will be the January 2024 data. And then from then on, it will be the second Monday of every month.
Thank you.
And Michelle, did you have a question? No. Okay. So Eric, I think you had gotten to the end of the dashboard. Thank you for the sneak peek and kind of walk through really quickly. I know people may have questions as we do release it, and to repeat my answer to Sarah a few minutes ago, the first report will be released on February 12th. So that will be the first report of 2024 with the January data, and then the reports will continue. So all the media will still get a media release with a reminder that the new data is available, and the 13-month chart that we have been using traditionally. We will still include that in case you want to use it in your reporting. You can always reach out to me for questions. I'll put my email in the chat, andrea@nctech.org. But we really look forward to being able to use this new dashboard and hopefully provide both media members and then other people interested in tech in North Carolina and where we've been and where we're headed. Eric, Josh, we appreciate all of your work with us as we got our dashboard created and get ready to launch in a few weeks. If there are not any other questions, I think we will wrap up, and just again, thank you all for attending. We appreciate it. We will have this recorded. If for some reason you have questions or have someone on your staff that would like kind of an overview as well, we will have this recording available. So thank you all. We appreciate it.